For God has called you to never give up, to never give up. For God knows the plans He has for you, plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Welcome to Inspiring Hope Podcast. This is your Hope Coach, Destiny Sprague of SacredCareService.com. Good morning, guys, and thank you for joining me again for another episode. And before we get started, go ahead and save this as your favorite podcast on Anchor or Spotify. If you're on YouTube listening to this, please hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. You're not going to want to miss out on all this inspiration and positive vibes and just a great encouragement atmosphere that is led by God. And share this with someone you love, because today's topic is make God your first love. I am in love with this topic. I think it's so important to know this, and I have a few things I'm going to talk with you guys about, and hopefully if you haven't already made God your first love, that you will start doing that after today's episode. So we're going to get right into it with Jeremiah 29:13, and it says, "If you look for me, you will find me when you seek me with all of your heart." Now, this is a promise that God is faithful no matter what. He always is with us, and sometimes we just don't notice because our eyes are fixed on someone else. Something that we think we need or want, so we cause that person, place, or thing to be put above God. So what I mean by this is that if you are looking in a different direction, if you are looking for something or someone, and you're putting just effort into looking in that certain area in your life more than you are looking for God, then you are putting that surrounding above God. And that's scary, and it's worth recognizing because it happens every single day. I was once in a place where I put my career above God. I put all my effort into the career that I wanted because the society said in order to be successful, you've got to have a great job. Now, just to know a little bit about me, I had my first child at 17. I became pregnant, at 16. And yeah, I was a teenage mom. And I was in school, and I just thought that in order to be successful that I needed to have this perfect job, this perfect career, and I started designing my life the way I wanted it to be based upon how the world viewed successfulness, and I just didn't know any better at the time. I didn't have anyone to tell me anything different, but God used things to happen to me so that I could see that wasn't my purpose. It wasn't for my purpose. It wasn't for my calling. I was literally making up what I wanted. I desired something, so I chased after that desire, making it my love. I thought I was so passionate about the subject that it was being put first above God. And I put all my effort into it. And, that's idolizing something when you put so much effort into it and you leave God behind in it. And I'm telling you, nothing will be blessed out of it. So I want you guys to really reflect on this section right here of what I'm saying. Is there anything that you have been putting above God? Anything that's so important to you, think about it all the time. And just see if that is something that you're doing. Reflect on it, guys. Reflect on if you have been looking for God. Are you putting Him first? And if not, what are you putting first? What is so important to you that you're putting it above God? And you need to recognize the consequence that will come out of this. If you listen to the video that I made, it's the last video I made on my YouTube page, Sacred Care Services, you would see what I was talking about with what I just said. about, putting our desire first and how the consequence won't be good. We shouldn't do it. It's the flesh leading us, but we are called to let the Spirit lead us and not the flesh. And we live different lives when we stop living by the flesh and start living by the Spirit. So, are you glancing over your shoulder looking for God? Are you peeking, looking for him? Or are you looking in all directions for him like he's money that you need desperately to pay a bill? Are you searching for him like he is an antidote to heal you from a snake bite that's getting ready to take your life? Are you searching for him with all of your heart, with all of your mind, with all of your being? Because this is life or death. And when you choose to put something above God, you are choosing death. And so many of us don't realize that. And that's why I'm here to talk about it today. I wish I would have had somebody tell me this a long time ago. Because like I said, it makes your life easier when you know it. Because, if you're someone who struggles with anxiety like I used to, or depression or fear or doubt, when you make God your first love, you no longer fear any of them emotional challenges. It doesn't matter what the enemy throws at you. You're able to fight it like the warrior that you've been called to be, because you have love that will never fail. God, that's the type of love God gives. So when we go to search for God, we have to look for him with both eyes. Sometimes we're covering one eye. We can't be lazy about it. This is the best relationship you will ever have. Put your best effort into it, because he doesn't want half of you. He wants all of you. Are you giving him your all? Make God your first love by putting him above all things. Put him first. Put him first, guys. Now, I know some people may say, I prayed, I looked for him, and I heard nothing. I've also been on this boat, and it's usually happens when you start in the relationship with him. This happens when you first start making effort. This may happen to you. It also may happen in different periods of your life when you're going through difficult things and you're searching for an answer, because that's also happened to me. But my question is to you. Did you keep looking? Did you keep praying? Did you keep knocking on the door? Did you keep knocking on the door? Think about it. If you were someone who needed something in order to live, you would not leave until you got what you came for, because you don't want to die, right? So we have to keep putting in the effort, even if we don't hear something once, we've got to reapproach him again. And then if we don't hear him the second time, reapproach him again. Keep on praying, keep on knocking, keep on looking, keep searching for him. Don't give up. Don't expect it to be easy, because he knows everything about you. And there may be a reason why he hasn't answered yet. And I want to give you guys another tool. If this happens to you, put more of the word inside of yourself, inside of your being, inside of your heart. Lock the word inside of your heart so that it can be with you at all times. Getting to know God is about looking for him and knowing him and obeying him and trusting him. And you can find all those things in the word. So, Matthew 7:7 says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. And I read this scripture a long time ago, and what I got from it is to keep knocking. Don't knock once. Don't knock twice. Keep knocking until you hear him. That is what he wants from you. He wants you to keep on knocking, because when we stop knocking, if we approach a throne with a question or a concern to God, it's important. And he wants us to He wants us to receive the answer, but he wants to also see if you're going to keep on searching for his answer. How bad do you want the answer? Is it life or death for you? Do you love him? Are you going to put him first? Or are you just going to say one time, I'm going to knock one time and then I give up. Life is just over for me. Now you got to act like it's a paycheck at your job and you need that money and you're not leaving until you get the check. But the lady isn't answering the door. So you're going to keep on knocking because you need your check, right? So we got to keep on knocking at the gates. We got to keep on knocking on God's door for the answer that we need. Don't give up. Don't look somewhere else. Don't look at a different direction that isn't where God wants you to look. Put him first. Knock on the door. Keep praying. Keep reading your word. Keep searching for him. Stop putting all your effort into people, places, and things and expecting not to be disappointed. Most of the time, and let's be real, most of the time we make man our first love. Everybody's done it. I've done it. But what happens? That man eventually disappoints you, right? And then you're heartbroken. Then you're left with anger, resentment, bitterness, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what a first love does. When you're a kid or a teenager and you find your first love, a lot of times that first love ends up disappointing you because it's a human and humans disappoint other humans. It happens. But when we make God our first love, he's faithful. He understands. He listens. He's patient. He's patient and he knows how to love us the way we need to be loved. We don't have to teach him how to love us. He'll teach us how to love ourselves by just loving him. So, put all your effort into God. Make him your first love. His love won't ever fail you. And I hope you guys know that. It will never fail you. So thank you for joining me for this episode. Topic of make God your first love. I hope it encourages you guys to really dig in deeper with your love for God and don't give up when things don't seem like it's getting answered or heard. God is always with you. He's always with you. He always hears you. If you're not receiving an answer, keep knocking. Don't get discouraged. Put more of the word inside of your heart so that you can hear him better. The enemy wants you to give up. He wants you to get discouraged. He wants you to stop knocking. He wants you to stop looking. And God is saying that he needs you to look with all of your heart. He needs you to seek him with all of your heart. He will direct you in the path of your purpose. He's got plans for you, and it's a purpose and it's a calling. He's got gifts for you that haven't even been unlocked yet, that you can't even see. He's got plans for you that are better than anything anyone could ever offer you. He will give you a life that is full of joy. He will give you a life that is worth living. He will give you a life that will change everything about you. Everything that you ever thought you were is going to be transitioned over to something greater. I'm speaking this to somebody today. Because God is going to renew you. When you're rebirthed in him and you really start that process, it's the transition that you'll never forget. And sometimes things get worse before they get better, but that's because you had some things that you need to overcome. And that's okay. That's a part of the process. That's a part of growing. That's a part of having a relationship with him. He wants you to be the best you. He wants to give you things, but you have to work for it. It's going to be hard some days. Some days are going to be harder, but it's worth fighting for. That's why I call you guys warriors. Because you have the fight within you because you have God's strength, a divine power within you because of God, that you can conquer any giant. So, guys, I hope this encouraged you today. I hope you received something that you can take away and grab and chew and be fed for a couple days and just apply this to your life. Ask yourself these questions. Go to God, go to the throne about this. What is it that you are making your first love? What do you need to do to change that? And it's probably going to be to let some things go. More than likely, you're going to have a lot of things that you're going to have to let go. And let God guide you in that process. He will show you how you need to do things and what to remove and what to do. So until next time, guys, have a blessed day. Remain putting your hope in God. And stay tuned for the next episode. Remember, guys, subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss out. Until next time, guys, have a blessed day.